975 billion parameters. A frontier model, full weights given away for free by the woman who used to run OpenAI. By the end, you'll know the catch and whether you can actually run it. This is real, live on their own site. Inkling, our open weights model. Not a paper, not a wait list. The full weights are sitting on Hugging Face right now. The lab is Mira Murati's, OpenAI's former chief technology officer, now running a 200-person startup. When the person who helped build the most closed AI on Earth open sources a frontier model, you stop scrolling. Here's the plan. First, what she actually shipped. Then, the catch nobody's saying out loud. And the real reason a startup burns millions to train a frontier model, then gives it away. The spec sheet is genuinely absurd. 975 billion total parameters, but only 41 billion fire per token. Mixture of experts, so it runs lean. Trained on 45 trillion tokens of text, images, audio, and video. Context window, 1 million tokens. This is a real frontier build, not a toy. And the benchmarks aren't shy. Straight from their own scorecard. 97% on AIM, 87 on GPQA Diamond, 78 on SWE Bench Verified, and 64 on Terminal Bench. For an open model you can just download, those are loud numbers. 97.1 on competition math. Let that sit. That's not good for an open model. That's good, period. Part 2. The receipts. Because frontier is a word anyone can print in a press release. Here's what actually holds up when you stop reading the marketing. Line it up against the whole open field, benchmark by benchmark. Inkling doesn't top every chart, and they admit it. What it does is refuse to fall over anywhere. Math, science, code, agentic tasks, strong across all of them. Broad, not spiky. That was the entire design goal. And here's the part that matters. The actual repository. Thinking Machines/Inkling on Hugging Face, with day zero support in Transformers, SGLang, and llama.cpp. This isn't a promise. You can pull it today. This is what owning the weights is supposed to buy you. No gatekeeper key. No per token meter running while you think. No vendor server quietly reading your code base. Hold that promise, because in a minute, the catch is going to test it hard. Put it next to a closed frontier model and the quality gap is small. But one side you rent through an API forever. The other you download once and it is yours. That's the entire game. Now the sleeper stat, efficiency. On Terminal Bench, Inkling matches NVIDIA's Nematron 3 Ultra using roughly 1/3 of the tokens to get there. 1/3. In a world where you pay by the token, same answer, 1/3 the cost, is the headline everyone skipped. Efficiency is the feature nobody puts on the poster. 1/3 the tokens for the same score. That is not a benchmark flex. That is your invoice, cut by 2/3. So here's the honest verdict on the numbers. Not the strongest model alive, they say so themselves, but comfortably the most capable thing you are actually allowed to own. Sit with that difference for a second. So it's real, it's efficient, it's yours. Which is exactly when you should get suspicious. Because a genuinely free frontier model should not exist. Watch. Part 3. The catch. And this one is a wall you cannot code your way around, no matter how clever you are. Read the fine print on that repository. The full 16-bit weights need 2 terabytes of VRAM. 2 terabytes! And the slimmed-down NVFP4 build still wants 600 gigabytes. 2 terabytes of VRAM to run the thing you just downloaded for free. Your laptop has, what, 24 gigs? This is the gap between owning a file and running a file. Frontier quality you can own versus hardware only a data center can feed. Right now, that second wall wins. This is the honest part every hype video quietly skips. Free to download is not the same as free to run. Burn that line into memory. So open weights and runs at home are two completely different sentences. Today, owning Inkling means owning a file you can't load, unless you rent a rack of Blackwell GPUs. The cloud you were escaping still holds the only keys big enough. And to their credit, they are honest about the ceiling too. Their own words, not the strongest overall model available today, open or closed. They led with that line. Refreshing, and a warning. 600 gigabytes for the efficient version. Efficient for a server farm, not for your Mac. Not this month anyway. Here's the mechanism, drawn honestly. Weights this size have to stream across disk, RAM, and VRAM in tiers, and no consumer tier is deep enough today. This is the exact wall the bonsai crowd smashed for a 27 billion model. Nobody has smashed it at 900 billion. Yet. Which raises the real question. If you can barely run it, and it's free, why would a startup burn millions to train it and then give it away? Follow the money. Part 4. The business model. And honestly, this is the part I love, because it's so much smarter than we're doing it for the community. TechCrunch put it cleanest. Quote, "It's Tinker, not the model itself, where the company's revenue has to come from. Training, fine-tuning, and now a cut of the hosting built around it." Read that twice. Tinker is Marathi's fine-tuning platform with context options up to 256,000 tokens and a 50% launch discount to reel you in. The strategy is gorgeous, a little ruthless. Give the frontier model away so the whole industry brings its private data to your workbench. The model is the bait. The customization is the business. They don't sell the model. They sell the wrench. And everyone who downloads that free model eventually needs the wrench. And the ecosystem already voted with its wallet. Together, Fireworks, Modal, Databricks, and Base10, all serving Inkling on day one. 5 platforms betting the open base is where enterprise goes next. When 5 infra companies rush to host a model on launch day, they aren't being charitable. They smell demand. And it works. Bridgewater, the biggest hedge fund on earth, tuned an open model on its own financial expertise. It scored 85% on financial reasoning, at 1/14th the cost of the proprietary option. 1/14th! That is the pitch to every enterprise on the planet. Take a free frontier base, pour in your own data, and run it for a fraction of what OpenAI or Anthropic charge, with weights you keep and data that never leaves your building. Cheaper, private, and yours. The closed labs should be nervous. 1/14th the running cost for the same reasoning power. That is not a discount. That is a different economy entirely. Zoom out, and the trend line is the whole story. Open models were a punchline 2 years ago. Now an ex-OpenAI chief is shipping one at frontier scale and building a company on top of it. The crossover isn't coming. You are watching it happen in real time. From industry joke to industry threat in 24 months. So the verdict. Inkling isn't the model that lands on your laptop tomorrow. It's the day Own Your Stack went frontier grade. That is the real shift here. So here's your move. Bookmark the Hugging Face repo. It's yours to grab. Watch for the community quant, because the bonsai crowd will shrink this. And if you've got the data, fine-tuning beats renting. If today's giveaway got you, watch yesterday's, the local coding agent that already runs on your machine. I'll see you in the next one.